Yo, all right. Welcome everybody to the third public creators community call. This is uh, the call where we broadcast out to the community and have recorded for anyone who maybe can't make the call. Just to let you guys know the updates of what we're doing here at the Creators, the Base Creators, the Creators Decentralized Agency. We've got a lot of really great updates to share. So we'll kind of get into our agenda here. But first, just a quick little welcome and introductions, a little recap of what the Creators is building. We are a decentralized collective of creators and founders that are building tools and um, creating brands and IPs on chain, as well as offering launchpad services and marketing services through our decentralized agency. We have clients that we're working with to launch on Base. We have brands and IPs in the pipeline that are interested in launching their brands or their IPs on chain. Um, and we're also working to create our own launchpad, which is going to allow creators of all sizes to launch books, games, music, merch, movies, events, just about anything as a tokenized product. And that's something that we're really proud to say that we're finally able to be moving forward on, in a very big way. Um, we have a few shout outs from the past week. Just shout out to some of the community who has come through and participated in this decentralized governance, this decentralized agency. We are trying to get more towards a DAO model from what was previously a centralized LLC, started way back in 2012 before Web3 was even a thing. So it's been a long time that the Creators has been around as an agency, and creating products and helping clients. But now we're kind of transitioning to a phase where this is going to be more open, and we're trying to create opportunities, job opportunities, training opportunities, education opportunities for creators, and builders, and marketing experts, and people who are even shit posters. We want to create opportunities for people in the ecosystem. We want to onboard people to the Base ecosystem. So we've got a lot of really great, exciting updates to share on our various different crews that you can come and join. But first, like I said, I've got a few shout outs. I just wanted to shout out Koip and Sven for helping out with the social media planning. They came through to the comms planning crew, which is every let me check my calendar. The comms planning crew is every Tuesday at 11 Eastern. And so, yeah, if you're wanting to be part of the comms planning crew, our social media at Base Creators is now being run by the community. So if you want to be part of helping us to schedule out our posts and to make sure that we're getting the word out there for all of the great things that we're doing for the community, we really are all in this together. And, if we, get together to write posts, we get together to create content, that only amplifies what we're able to get out into the ecosystem. Because up until now, it's been a lot of building in the background with not a lot of time to really be shilling ourselves. And I think that just decentralizing and giving the opportunity for our community to come in and help us write things, and just, core team members and people who are working on the events and projects can give updates to the comms crew, and the comms crew can write the posts. And, that's all their task has to be, is just writing posts about the updates and getting people excited about all the stuff that we're up to. So that's the comms crew. And, shout out to Koip and Sven for participating in that one. Also, shout out to Lance for coming through and participating in the events crew, and also to Shrike as well for coming through and participating as a potential project manager, writing up some proposals, getting into some of the work that we can be doing, managing clients, intaking sponsors. Shrike is a really great person for that. So we're hoping that we can incentivize him properly to get in and get some of this revenue flowing towards him as well. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to be decentralizing as an agency, because like now we have all these opportunities coming in, and it's just about really like finding quality people, people who will be dedicated, who can take revisions, be willing to put in the work and the effort for a client project, or really be dedicating themselves to some of the events that we do that are really about just getting sponsors and showing up and doing what we can for the ecosystem and the community and the sponsors that are all involved. So we've got some really great things that are coming up. So now that we've kind of gotten through the welcome and intros, I'd like to kind of get into our crew updates. From our agency crew, we have a really big update. This is something that we're really excited to share. We've been able to secure a renewed contract with CreatorDAO. This is our first client last month that came through from a referral, and that was through Rachel on Chain. So shout out to Rachel for that referral. And we're really happy to hear that the CreatorDAO is just really happy with us. Like, we've been putting in a lot of hard work to make sure that we take care of them as a client, and really just see their needs before they even see them themselves, and just try and take care of them as best we can. And I think that it's been going really well from what we've been hearing. Like, I'm really excited to just to hear like the level of positive feedback that we're getting from the client on a regular basis. It's just it just does my heart good. It just feels really good. So, and that plus the fact that we have renewed with them for another month means that we are now going to be celebrating that with a little bit of a post here on Twitter that I'm going to make actually right now. Tanshu, do you want to talk a little bit about what we've been doing with CreatorDAO?
Yeah, I mean, we've been kind of handling essentially their marketing from top to bottom. Basically, been their all-in-one marketing department. Really, just through kind of a rushed month of getting up and running, ready for their launch on District.xyz, pushing things forward to their token generation event, getting that and helping get them to reach their fundraising goal of 270 ETH, I believe, was the final target.
That's right, yeah.
Which almost we sold out more than half of that during the whitelist event, and then I think within like 13 minutes of opening up public, the rest of it was gone. So I remember in the time it took us to make a post that so that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, honestly, that's so like that's so rewarding, and just confirming that all the really hard work that we did to get them out, and to launch them and to market them and to just be out there in the ecosystem and just making authentic connections for them, as the agency that's handling their launch. I think that really just speaks volumes to how well we were able to get them out there, that as soon as the whitelist phase ended, they flooded through. You know what I mean? Like, even during the whitelist phase, it was pretty crazy. There was 130 ETH raised in only 24 hours. I think that's pretty crazy just for the whitelist phase alone. But then as soon as the gates were lowered, like, it was crazy that it was literally within 13 minutes that the rest of it was completely sold out. So
yeah, crazy numbers.
Yeah,
crazy numbers.
absolutely amazing. And like, we highly recommend District.xyz. as a launchpad, after seeing those numbers and seeing what it's capable of, and really just like the smoothness of that launch, it just went so well. Like it was just really well done. The UI feels really nice. And the fact that the DAO is like an integrated part of it, like right after you're done, the DAO is done doing the raise, like the DAO like starts up and then you can see the features of it right away. I think that's really cool. So definitely interested to be directing some more of our clients towards District if they're looking to launch a DAO, because it's absolutely a great platform if you're launching an ERC20 token based DAO. We probably would recommend the Nouns Builder for an NFT based DAO. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see if we can ask District to add NFTs to it at some point, because that would be really cool to have NFTs. But yeah, I think I'm just just about ready here to share this tweet here that I made. I guess BankerBot hasn't replied yet, but you guys will see that on our timeline at some point. And that's just something that we mentioned that we'd be doing. For every agency client that we get from here on out, we're going to be renewing our Create token allotment in our treasury, since we're going to be wanting to build up an amount of our own token for the future of like what we're doing here. So we're going to be dedicating half of every agency client's agency fee, like all of the workers that are agreeing to be part of the decentralized agency. We're kind of putting that towards the future growth of the entire Create token community, and everything that we're doing, by securing that with our treasury. So that's really for company expenses potentially, but it's also for paying developers and designers. Like for example, Opsys and Luminode. We're going to be working with them to really send our launchpad and just make it the most amazing Create token launchpad that we can possibly make. In order to do that, we want to incentivize them. So we're going to be giving most of our Create token treasury as it currently stands from the first few months of trading. That's going to go towards incentivizing some of the best designers and developers that we've been able to come across, and getting them really invested into the future of our brand and our token. And we're actually just really honored that they're willing to just work for our token alone, because that means that they also believe in this vision. Because otherwise it's not something that they're going to be selling. We've already talked with them about it. It's already going to be locked in for a year. So that just alone kind of proves that, like, if we have this vision and the people that are working on our launchpad also share that vision, it's just the right fit. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that we're wanting to, as we send that out to them, also be replenishing in our treasury, and be doing that over, every agency client that we get, and as well as, other potential revenue streams that we're going to be getting as a Create token community. So really excited to kind of make that first buy of Create tokens for our treasury just on the public timeline. So yeah, good times.
Yay!
All right.
Amazing. Setting up our first flywheel.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's going to come through to the Telegram. That'll probably come through to the Telegram at some point here in the next few minutes as BankerBot processes that. So you guys will see our little lightning bolt creator animation come through at some point here. So we've got a few other proposals in progress. There's 3 of them that are outstanding, and that we're kind of following up on, throughout the weeks, and just making sure that we stay on top of those clients. The other one that we have outstanding is that we've got one up for review that needs to go out. So that was something that Shrike was able to do for us. Um, I don't know if we have time to review that last night. I think we tried to, but then I don't know if we actually went through it. But like we should absolutely do that today just to get that done
Yeah,
and sent out.
probably get it done right after this call.
Yeah, so we'll probably end up getting into the workroom after this call to work on that proposal. So anyone interested in reviewing that with us. Um, let's see. The next item on our agenda is going to be to talk about the Launchpad and kind of the ops and dev and design and what we're doing as a product development firm that's kind of making a venture product. So we are really excited that we have pretty much come to a final agreement with Opsys on the design side of it, and we are just about reaching the final agreement for the development side of it. Um, and now that we have some revenue to really allocate towards this, the cool thing about it is that we've actually got the ability to get more features than we initially had thought we'd been able to afford. So we, initially we're going to have more of a lightweight launchpad that was just bare bones, but this is going to be a lot closer to the original vision of what we had. That was, going to take a lot more funding, to be quite honest. But the fact that we've been able to work out, these deals with Luminode and with operating system, and the fact that they are so invested in the future of our brand as well, and that we've just had such great relationships with them in the past, I think that just it's just a match made in heaven here. So we're really happy that we're going to be able to get them some good funding as well. That we're going to be able to get them, create token, as well as some USDC is involved in the deal at some point. Um, but yeah, it's definitely something that we're really happy to be moving forward on. And if anyone's interested in taking a look at the design spec document, we've got that pretty much laid out, and that's going to be starting work. And I think we're hearing that it's going to be a 3 to 4 week timeline for the initial MVP. But with these additions of like what we're looking for, it's probably going to be a little bit extended. We'll see if we can get a lightweight MVP out first, and then a V1 shortly thereafter as a fast follow. But the goal is to get this out ASAP. We've got some opportunities that are kind of waiting in the wings for this launchpad to be ready to go. So a lot of creators, well-known creators that we'll be able to launch with, that are kind of on the wait list for this already. And I guess now that we're able to really secure the design and dev of that, like with a company that's going to move forward and like is going to be able to take this to the moon, really, because Opsys and Luminode are both extremely skilled in what they do, and they have a great track record. We will start now to kind of do some advertising for this launchpad. So that's going to be on the comms crew and our communications that we have with the ecosystem, just to let them know, like, this is a launchpad that's happening. Whether you are a creator or a DAO, or you are just a single project, venture project maybe. This is something that we've got, the opportunity to launch, music, art, books, games, events, augmented reality experiences, a lot of really great things, that are potential here. And have that be tokenized in the same kind of way that the Zora flywheel is, where on Zora right now, if you make a post, that can then feed into your creator coin, which can then feed into the Zora coin, and then you can take the Zora coin for your payment if you want. And as every other artist on the platform is earning and making the Zora coin more valuable, then you're stacking essentially a platform token that represents the ownership of the value that all the creators are putting into all the effort, the time, the creative energy, and the attention that those creators are all collectively getting, are kind of being swept up into the Zora token. And so we've had the exact same model for the Create token launchpad since before Zora even launched their token. We just haven't had the funding to get ourselves to the point where we can get that. So now that we have that, it's really exciting to say that we're creating something that is on the level of Zora, but in my opinion, it's much greater than that, because if you're posting on Zora, you're just posting art. Like, you can post music too, I suppose, but there are no games, there are no augmented reality experiences, there are no events, there are no there's no real movies, like Netflix style kind of streaming services on Zora. Like, there's so many things that as a creator you might want to tokenize as part of that flywheel, that Zora is really just focused on art. So we've got all these different creative industries and modules for each one, where whatever you're wanting to create, it'll just allow you to create that, tokenize it with our Clanker create interface. um, and yeah, I feel like that's much more powerful. Not only the fact that it's more universal to all creators and more composable, but it's also running on Clanker as opposed to Zora, um, which I think Clanker tokens are just stronger. And I think the power of the Clanker interfaces, like, we're going to be an interface for Clanker. I think the power of those interfaces is really much greater than what Zora can potentially wield. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of what Clanker has been doing. Excited that we're going to be able to integrate the V4, be working with Flood and Opsis, who they work directly with Clanker, with their branding and their design and development. So they're very much familiar with the Clanker interface building and everything, because they do the OG Clanker interface. So we're literally getting the OGs themselves, and very proud and happy to be doing so, and to be able to incentivize them, and that they really believe in this vision with us. So really excited to be working with them on that. So that's updates on the Launchpad. Um, any other thoughts on the Launchpad, Tanshu, before I move on?
I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, Zora is great as almost like an Instagram style replacement, kind of a social media replacement. Whereas what we're going for is really the ultimate creators platform. You're going to be able to launch so many more things, offer a lot of flexibility, and then have a really, really solid token that can kind of stand on its own outside of any platform. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. I know I've been prepping some content of my own in in anticipation of our platform that I plan to launch with. So I can't wait to see what people can do with it.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm just now seeing too in our chat that a question came through from PBC. Any plans to market the Create token? Um, and I think, and this came in maybe like almost 20 minutes ago, and I must have missed it. So sorry, PBC, if you've been waiting that long. But I think that the Launchpad itself and the product that we're launching out here is going to be the way that we market the Create token. It's not going to be a direct, like, we will never say, hey, come and buy our token. Like, that's not how we roll. Like, we don't give financial advice. But when people see how the structure of the Launchpad works, that all of the project tokens can be sending their fees into the Create token, and all the projects that are launched on the platform are essentially becoming a flywheel for not only that project's token, but also that creators token, but also the create token as a platform token. So, we've got, the same kind of flywheel that Zora's got set up. And I think, it's just kind of like a given that people understand that, when you have a platform token like that, you don't really need to market the token. You market the platform. And when people see how utilized that thing is across that, platform, and how popular the platform is, and how much use case it is, and how it's getting real world numbers, that we're really aiming for mass audience here. We're aiming for off chain. We're going to be designing this in a way that you really won't even know that you're interacting with tokens so much as it's obvious. You're going to know that there's these coins, but you won't necessarily have to know anything about crypto. You won't have to know anything about blockchain. There won't be a lot of like terminology throughout the site that is like overly crypto centric, because we're really trying to focus on the creators themselves, the projects themselves, and then the platform of being able to create something. That's really what we're trying to focus on with the branding of it all, because when a creator on a Web 2 platform monetizes, they're already pretty familiar with the aspect of being able to earn as a creator. They're already pretty familiar with that idea. And putting that, in the form of a coin, I feel like is only one step required for them to really understand this. You know what I mean? It's not going to be too crazy for them to understand, like, oh, so like, my monetization structure comes from this coin, and people who enjoy my content then will, have this coin or whatever. And that will be how, I earn as a creator. And that's, in my opinion, that's going to be a lot less cumbersome and a lot less to ask than giving the whole spiel on, like, the interface, like, the tokenomics, like ERC20s, all that stuff. Like, really going to try to abstract that away from the user as much as possible, and make this a transitional platform from Web 2 to Web 3, as we try to really onboard the masses of creators that are being taken advantage of in the current economies.
Well said.
And that's going to be a lot of our marketing too, is just like a kind of revolutionary message that gets out to creators, because they all believe the same thing. They all need to be making more money, and they're all looking for a way to make more money. They're all looking for the platform that offers the best monetization. So that's what we're going to offer them. So next up on our agenda is collabs and partnerships. We've got some collabs kind of in the works, with Roar and Dimes coming up for On-Chain Summer, or On-Chain Summit, I should say. That's going to be August 21st to the 24th, so that's coming up real quick. That kind of brings us right into our events crew updates and everything, because we've got that event coming up, and we are kind of coordinating and getting everything in line for that right now. We're just about done getting our sponsor intake form created, and once that form is created, anybody who's wanting to earn with us and help us get sponsors, we're going to be offering a 12.5% cut to anybody who signs up a sponsor through their unique link. So we're going to be incentivizing our entire community to get out there and help us to shill our event. So we're going to be, the events crew and, design and dev and, any other active crew members are going to be working on the event itself. This is a metaverse event, and it's also a physical event there at On-Chain Summit at the actual summit location. It's going to be a highly attended event. It's already featuring Roar and Dimes, and they've got, a really killer activation that we are expanding on top of and getting an even greater kind of utility to be offering. So just to give you a rundown for those who haven't heard about this event or what we're doing here, um, Roar and Dimes have invited us to this sneaker design competition where they are going to be inviting kids and adults from around the San Francisco area to come and design sneakers, which will be then rendered in 3D in Blender there at the location. There's going to be an instructor from the Roar and Dimes side that will be offering some Blender instruction, and we're actually going to be on site to offer additional, instruction and help for, because there's going to be so many hands in the air and voices and people to talk to that one instructor may not be enough for the whole group. So we're gonna just kind of be there to assist with the Blender aspect of that. But then also on top of that, as these Blender files are being created, and this is where we come in, we're going to then be putting these Blender files into the metaverse as wearable avatar accessories. So, these wearable, shoes will be projected up on a screen that, there will be a QR code that, you can scan with your phone, hop into the environment, wear the shoes that you just designed, and watch yourself run around on the big screen that everyone else can see as well. So that's going to be really cool, I think. And these shoes will then be minted on the base app, as a post on the base app, a monetized post. And then there's going to be a competition for who's the winner. So there's going to be really a complete flow and potential, career path opportunity offered to these kids that shows how to design a shoe, how to work in 3D, how uh, to post and to mint on chain and to earn on chain through the base app, and also how to see the utility of what they just created in the metaverse and in a game that they might be kind of familiar with, very similar to like a Fortnite or a Minecraft style kind of situation that, you can have wearable clothing in those games as well that you can purchase. And so this is connecting the dots for, these kids who may have already been purchasing from games, and they can see the complete process from start to finish of an on-chain, um, you know, tokenized utility, that is a wearable avatar accessory. So I think this is going to be really exciting as an activation for the base app. We're going to be getting a lot of really good content surrounding, posting on the base app, posting those sneakers, showcasing like in the background of posting, we'll have like the big screen of them running around with the speakers, with the sneakers in the metaverse. So it's going to be a really, in my opinion, kind of beautiful looking activation for photography that we're going to be able to put on the timeline. Like it's going to look really great, and that's going to be a good use case and like a case study for how we can, as the base creators, be doing activations. Bringing creators into the base app. Educating, training, giving job opportunities for creators on chain. This is really what we've been doing in Web 2 since 2012, as a creative freelance agency, is, finding opportunities, training people, educating, giving them the opportunity to come in on projects with us. And now it's just on chain. So yeah, it's really exciting just to have the base app be finally out there, to be, having activation that, we're going to be highly involved in. So we definitely recommend anyone who wants to come through and be part of this. There are paid positions available for our agency crew and for our events crew right now. So we've got tasks that are available. We will be earning from both of these, obviously depending on what sponsors come through, of course, for the events side of things. But I think we're structuring it in such a way that it's really just a no-brainer sponsorship where it's going to really make your brand look amazing to be part of this event and this activation. We'll be providing all of these high quality photos of kids designing shoes, putting them on the base app, minting them, playing around in the metaverse with those shoes. Having your brand be associated with that, and the fact that you are kind of really sponsoring and promoting the idea of creativity and the new creator economy and on-chain creators, and it just shows an investment for your brand investing in creators on chain. And I think that it's a great sponsorship opportunity. Let's just leave it there. So we have some great sponsorship materials we're getting out there for anyone who's going to be helping us to get those. Again, a 12.5% cut right off the top for any sponsor that you get coming through from your link. So you will instantly get paid as a collaborator helping us get sponsors. And I think that we're going to be able to really send this event and just make it amazing. We'll be able to have the company logos there in the metaverse as kids are running around with the sneakers. You'll even see like billboards and banners and advertisements for the sponsors that are going to be sponsoring this. So I think it's going to be really amazing. All right. So that is coming up, though I'd say in 10 days we have a cutoff for like really just closing out the work on that. And I know my flight is on the 20th. So, that's pretty much a 10-day cutoff here for us to just be finished on that. So I think we've just about got the environment finished. We've got a really dope looking Unity environment for the metaverse that has the Golden Gate Bridge and an awesome sunset and an awesome kind of like California-esque, picturesque like palm trees style to it. So really cool place for them to be running around in, because also the environment that we're hosting the event in is like this kind of rustic looking brick building with like exposed brick walls on the inside as well. So we'll just have like a nice big projector with this like really cool window to the outside of San Francisco with kids running around with the sneakers and stuff. So I think that's going to be a really cool visual. But yeah, so just to recap all of the crews and the different opportunities for people to come through. Besides this, community call, which anyone's welcome to come and join every week. We do have an open floor at the end of every community call for anyone to ask questions. We do have crews that are available on the calendar at calendar.thecreators.com. If you go to calendar.thecreators.com, you will see essentially what is a embedded Google Calendar that you can add to your own if you happen to use Google Calendar, or you can also just download that as an iCal or an Outlook style calendar and just get that added to your calendar. I think the best way to do it is with a Google account, because I do believe that it will then update automatically as we make updates. So this is like a live calendar that you can just add to yours, check it and uncheck it as needed. And so it won't really block off your schedule for anything. It'll just be a separate calendar that you can see. And so let me actually share my screen on that, and because that might just be helpful. Let's see. All right, and then let me just close that. Oh, and then that's not streaming to the screen share. Hold on, let me actually get that out of Discord and onto Restream. Okay, so here's our calendar. I guess we'll go to next week here. So every Monday we've got our ops crew, and that's going to be the crew that's really in charge of the launchpad right now, and any other kind of dev ops like venture products that we're making as a venture development company will be handled in the ops crew. That is every, and I'm in Central Time, so I'll be adjusting. This is every Monday at 2:30 Eastern in our Discord. So that's for people who may want to be involved on the launch pad. Um, if you are going to get involved in the launch pad, you have the potential to really be earning from the launch pad as someone who helped to found it. So we would really need a lot of work to be put in as a co-founder on that. Oh, did it just stop sharing? Oh, that's weird. Let me try replacing that again. There. All right. Yeah. Sorry about that. Like I was saying though, for ops crew, we're going to be really expecting a lot of work be put in on that. Like you'd have to be like a developer or a designer or project manager level to help us really like get that over the line. Right now, we've got pretty much all positions filled for ops crew, so it's not going to be that necessary. If you want to come in just to support, you're welcome to come in. And if we happen to need a dev and or a designer, then that would be your opportunity to really earn as a co-founder at that point. But I don't foresee a need right now since we have Opsis and Lumino to really filling most of those positions. But since we haven't really got started, it all kind of is on the table of like what we might need for that. So we may need some like ancillary marketing based stuff for launch that might be something that comes up towards the final stages as we're prepping for go to market on our launch pad. The other crews, to go through them one at a time here, comms crew is every Tuesday at 11 Eastern. That is the crew that manages the communications for the Create Token community. And that's going to be really in charge of our social medias and helping to schedule and get the message out on all the different activities, updates, collabs, partnerships, all the different wins and things that we want to share with the community, opportunities for creators, opportunities for earning on chain. These are all really things that we're trying to identify as repeatable content that we can like just get on the timeline and just be out there all the time, and just be constantly just marketing ourselves as the Create Token community, and how active we are, and the impact that we're having on the ecosystem, primarily. So comms crew, very important crew. There are USDC rewards available if you are a contributor on that crew. Koip and Sven have already been accumulating some USDC rewards from being on that crew and contributing. So anybody who wants to come and earn, it's all about showing up. It's about coming through, and workrooms happen throughout the week as well. So these events that are that we're going through here, these are the stand-ups, which are really more about talking about what the crew is up to, and just updates from each of the members of the crew, and the goals of the crew, the tasks that we have ahead of us, assigning those tasks for the rest of the week, and then we kind of break and work independently and also in the workroom throughout the rest of the week. So if you maybe can't make it to the comms crew or haven't been able to make it yet, you're able to hop in anytime. That's something that you just come through to the Discord. You can start earning USDC by contributing to the comms crew, by helping us to write posts that market us as a Create Token community, that help us to get activity out there into the ecosystem. Like really, we're looking for like reply guys too. Like we're looking for shit posters too here, you guys. Like it's not just formal updates and like trying to make our brand look shiny and pretty, we really do want to be entertaining too. Like we want to make people laugh. We want to get our revolutionary message out there of how creators are getting taken advantage of and that we're helping to solve that, um, because that's really the core voice that we have as a brand that's really going to speak to people and get them on board, either as a creator, as a client, as a sponsor of our events. Um, so come through and let's kind of start crafting that voice together as a community, um, because the core team that's been active right now is just so busy on just actively doing the work itself that we don't have time to have a voice for ourselves recently. So that's going to be super helpful for the community to, we can be feeding you guys, the different ideas of what we can be posting, and you guys can just be refining those posts and helping us to get them scheduled, and just be active. So that's something that we are paying USDC rewards for, because again, we are now a revenue generating token community. All right. So next crew, the events crew. That's right after comms crew, every Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern. The events crew is about organizing and prepping for any events that we have coming up. That currently is just the On-Chain Summit event, but we are going to have more events throughout this year and next year. So we'll be continuing to line those up as we see really great opportunities. This will be a mixture of public sponsor events, and some of them may be business to business, like networking events that like we're just going to be attending to try and get more clients. So those are it's gonna be a mixture of both. But for this one coming up, it's a public event that's sponsored. It has an activation with BaseApp. We're really proud to be onboarding creators to BaseApp and really showing a full workflow of creating a sneaker, posting it, monetizing that post on BaseApp, and then really showcasing what that looks like after it's been posted. Like, what is this thing I've just posted? Oh, it's an actual wearable shoe that I can run around in this video game with. Great. And people can buy it. Great. Just like Fortnite. So like, that's like really what we're, planning for the events crew. Anyone who wants to come through, we have USDC rewards available for people who are participating in that. It's mostly going to be based on the sponsors that are coming in, but if you're participating and we happen to get 0 sponsors, we will find USDC from other sources of revenue in our organization to make sure that contributors are rewarded for that contribution. Because again, we are a revenue generating token community, and we want to be sharing that wealth with our community who wants to be active in growing this with us and shares our vision, because that's how we spin the flywheel of our own community. All right, next up, we've got a fun one that is our collab with PizzaDAO. PizzaDAO inspired a lot of the structure that you're seeing in front of you right now. They have calendar.pizzadao.xyz if you want to check out all of their events, which are structured in a very similar way. And so their crews are just about the same, and one of them is an education crew, education call, I guess is what they've come to call it, because it's not so much a crew as it is people who want to come and learn, and it's open to everyone. It's not just PizzaDAO members, and that's the same for all PizzaDAO crews. And what also inspired us for our crews, you don't even have to be part of the Create Token community or the PizzaDAO token community to come and collaborate on the crews. You can just show up. You can just, if you feel like participating and like being part of these events that are like, fun and colorful and exciting and, having so much value, you can absolutely come and show up and participate and start earning USDC from us or from PizzaDAO just by participating as a contributor. Like, you don't even have to be like an owner of those tokens. You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to just create opportunities for creators and for people who love creating and people who love pizza. So the pizza community education call is specifically about educating because we're doing a collab with them on this. It's specifically about educating people about creating in every different type of creative software that there is. So if you want to learn and just have a fun workshop about some piece of creative software, come through to the Pizza DAO, the Creators Education Call. That is every Wednesday at 11 Eastern. We're currently learning Blender, and we've just finished our first class of how to model a pizza after we first learned how to model a donut. So it's actually going pretty well, honestly. Like the pizza's looking pretty sick. Like I don't know, I did not know Blender as well as I do now before just like 2 hours of this call. And now I'm feeling like I can actually model just about anything in Blender because like I just modeled a pizza, and like I can do a donut too. Like give me a problem, I'll solve it. Like throw it at me, like challenge me now. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. So if you want that same feeling, if you want that same feeling of confidence over being able to like, do creative stuff, like make the computer like do what you want, like you know what I mean, like make creative stuff happen, um come through. Like it's really a powerful thing to learn, to be able to have the ability to create something from nothing. And it's really exhilarating and exciting and fun, and we do it with a lot of fun people in that call. There's a lot of just fucking around. Some people take it more seriously than others, let's just say it that way. There's some really fucked up pizzas out there from this last call, and it's really, I love them, but yeah, it's to each their own. So all right, so that's that. Come through 11 every Wednesday for that. We're going to be learning every creative software just lined up in a row pretty much. We have an agenda that we're going through. All right, so that's going to be it for our cruise. This is something that we were not able to have this week because our app that we we invested into is just broken. The token gating is just broken on Huddle right now. Shout out to the Huddle crew for like troubleshooting this and trying to work on it. It's it's now been 2 weeks that we've been trying to get into our own token gated room that we've created, and like only hosts are able to get in. It'll only detect that you have create token if you've been marked as a host. So like you can literally have it and it will say that you don't have the create token. And then if you get marked as a host, you'll be like, oh, now you have it. It's like, okay. So we're currently just kind of not having that until that's working. But every Friday evening, just to recap the week and to decompress, is our founders meeting, and that's for create token holders only. All these other events, all these other crews are for anybody. You don't have to be a create token holder, like I said, to be part of the cruise. But for the founders meeting, that's going to be for create token holders because we're all founders of the create token community together. So if you guys want to just be part of the decompression, the chat, the like, really we talk about just similar stuff as here in the community call, but less structured and more just open for us to just shoot the shit. And also we also just experiment with different apps, or we like we'll make stuff with AI, or like we'll just have fun. Sometimes we'll play a game, or like watch a movie or whatever. Like it's really just about like coming together as a team. It's just like a team bonding, team kind of time that we can just talk about, some personal stuff if you want, like, get support, from your team, and really just like vibe out. So yeah, like we want to invite.
Immaculate vibe.
Oh yeah, it's really fucking great. Like honestly, so and honestly, there's a lot of like different collaborations and partnerships that happen from within the founders meetings, because like a lot of our create token holders are also builders and founders of their own brands. So there's a lot of kind of integrations that are revealed and different opportunities that are revealed. So it's very much like a business networking meeting, which I believe we're going to be pushing it towards that a little bit more in the near future is kind of even marketing this as a business networking meeting where if you hold any amount of create token, you then have the opportunity to come through and really like have like 1 or 2 minutes every week to stand up and just ask the entire group, about, hey, like, we're launching this product this week, and these are our best customers to be sending us. We'd appreciate any referrals of, these types of, customers or clients, or, this is the type of target community that we're looking for collabs with. We've got so and so collab opportunity available, or this event launching that is looking for sponsors, whatever it may be. Just have like 2 minutes just to say every week, what you're up to as a brand and as an IP, as a founder, as an entrepreneur, as a builder. Just let you just talk and just like have asks that you can ask of the rest of the crew, and just kind of go around the circle of everybody and just give them that time, and then kind of before and after just have open networking where we just like just shoot the shit, talk like like once you kind of hear what everyone else's asks are, and like if you've been writing down relevant stuff that you're interested in, like participating in, that's where those conversations can start and spark. We're really just looking to have like a structured way to spark collaboration and creativity and partnerships and growth among our create token holders. So yeah, that's kind of what it's going to be evolving into as well. But yeah, until then, we're just going to be shooting the shit, playing games, and fucking around. So come and join. Yeah, so that's it. That's the founders meeting. That's every Friday at 7:30 Eastern. And yeah, thanks guys so much for attending the community call. We have a bit of an open floor. We don't have anyone here in the Discord right now that I'm seeing. So if anybody is on the stream and wants to ask any questions, I'm currently looking at the chat. Yeah, and I guess Tanchu and I can just chat for a little bit too about what's up next in our agenda. I think we were going to talk about or work on what was it that we just said that we were going to work on?
We got to finish a proposal.
Yeah.
And probably finish up the sponsor intake form.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna be working on agency crew and events crew stuff. Working on a proposal for an agency client, and also working on our event coming up for On-Chain Summer, or On-Chain Summit. I'm not seeing any chats, any questions in the chat, so that'll be it for our open floor this week. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining the Creators Community Call. Stay based, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, everyone.